Next item on the agenda is the Executive Director's update. Sandy, you have any remarks for us?
Thank you, Donald. I'll keep this brief, given our time pressures. If we get to it, we'll be talking about the asset allocation tonight. Just to give you a highlight, we're increasing the allocation to core fixed income and U.S. equities, decreasing in allocation to high yield bonds, international equity, and private equity, eliminating TIPS exposure, and introducing a strategic allocation to cash of approximately 0.5%. And there'll be no increased allocation to our alternative asset classes. You'll get more of a briefing later in the meeting on that with far more detail from far more informed people than I am. This recommendation is endorsed by BERS Investment Strategy, Siegel Marco, and BAM. Velocity project update. The Secure Act 2.0, which mandated some Rothification requirements for makeup contributions, has been suspended for 2 years. But we are marching ahead with our Rothification of the TDA. We fully expect to provide Roth options for both contributions and catch-up contributions as early as January, but as late as no later than February, in my expectation. And we expect to provide rollover capabilities during the year. So we are pressing ahead for the benefit of our members. We are, law department's present. If we do get to the issue of some of our governance questions, they're here to answer questions about that. Educational opportunities very quickly. BAM University, September 29th. Got great feedback from last week. BAM University. John or Allison, would you like to add a little more to the sales pitch?
Sure, although I think Alan, Tony, Maisha, and Alice might be able to say more, but, and Greg.
That's a way of saying I didn't, I'm not getting my fancy.
Certification.
I held out of BAM University.
I'm proud of myself.
Simple way of saying.
Let's,
Yes.
we have time left.
Okay, so, basically, opportunity to sort of look inside how BAM functions and works on behalf of the trustees, and pass out. We have materials that even if you can't attend, we will make sure that everybody has access to both the hard copy and the electronic copy of material so that you can look through it. That sort of goes through the process of how from asset allocation to investment recommendation to following up, and everyone is invited and welcome, and we'll be there on Friday. And also Friday morning, former White House Chief of Staff Jack Lew is going to be in person at the beginning of the meeting is to do the thought leadership series before it starts, and that should be pretty interesting.
He was my boss at the BBGC.
There you go.
Good to see you. Okay, NCTR has a conference October 7th to 10th, and NYCBERS Fall Conference, which includes their professional trustee educational and accredited trustee credential education programs, is in October 21st, 25th. The National Association of Securities Professionals has an annual symposium November 14th and 15th, and the controller on the following day, November 16th, has its Diverse and Emerging Managers Investment Conference. I encourage, especially the NASP and controllers meetings, there would be very helpful to everyone on this board. We'll continue to provide email updates on educational opportunities, but let me get out of the way of the rest of the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy.